very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the finance minister provided compelling evidence of the mismanagement of the Ghanaian economy. He put out indices that show that we inherited an economy in total disarray. So saying so does not elicit any controversy. Mr. Speaker, because our colleagues on the other side know that the finance minister has provided evidence of mismanagement of the economy in the 8 years that they were in power, they have begun to wage a campaign of disinformation with a view to demonizing this budget. Mr. Speaker, many speakers on their side have made claims that are untrue about allocations in this budget made to the Office of the President and Office of Government Machinery. Mr. Speaker, I happen to speak for that office, and therefore I am in a position to correct all the distortions and misinformation that they put out. Mr. Speaker, 3 claims have been made. They have said that 2.7 billion Ghana cedis has been allocated to the Office of the President, and that this is far more than what was allocated to the same office in 2024. Because of that, there is some wrongdoing. They have also claimed that 78 million Ghana cedis has been allocated to my office. And finally, they have also claimed that 50 million Ghana cedis has been allocated to the Office of the President for research. Mr. Speaker, none of these claims are true, and I will provide evidence. When we speak about the Office of the President, it is made up of 6 units. It is made up of the General Administration, the Office of the Chief of Staff, the Vice President Secretariat, Cabinet Secretariat, Press Secretariat, Policy Coordination and Delivery Units. In addition to this, Mr. Speaker, there are 24 different agencies that add up to these 6 to make up 30 different agencies, which constitute what we call the Office of Government Machinery. They have claimed that under them there were only 8 agencies. Mr. Speaker, that is not true. There were 23. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the budget on page 151, an amount of 2.711 billion Ghana cedis has been allocated for compensation. Mr. Speaker, compensation simply means wages and salaries paid to government workers. Mr. Speaker, when they were in power, the 23 agencies under the Office of Government Machinery had a total of 1,200 workers. 336 of these were political appointees. Mr. Speaker, since January 2025, President Mahama, through an executive instrument, has collapsed 7 ministries. 2 of these collapsed ministries have had a total of 7 agencies moved to the Office of Government Machinery. Mr. Speaker, these agencies alone have contributed 11,657 civil servants who are going to be paid through the Controller and Accountant General. So it is not true that President Mahama has been given 2.7 billion Ghana cedis to squander. Mr. Speaker, on the contrary, the budget of the Office of the President or Office of Government Machinery, when you look at goods and services and capital expenditure, has been cut by 419 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, the Office of Government Machinery, which had 1,200 employees, was allocated 1.536 billion Ghana cedis for goods and services and capital expenditure. Now, the same entity has 11,657 civil servants and has been allocated only 1.17 billion Ghana cedis for goods and services and capital expenditure, which is a cut of 419 million Ghana cedis. So it is not true that more has been given to the Office of the President. Mr. Speaker, it is also false for anybody to say, and this is a house of record, so I wish to place it on record, that my office has not been given 78 million Ghana cedis. There are 3 agencies that I superintend, namely the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the Information Service Department, and the Ghana News Agency. These 3 agencies alone have 2,537 civil servants. And it is these civil servants who have been allocated 78 million Ghana cedis in both goods and services. Mr. Speaker, it is woefully inadequate for them because the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation alone needs 36 million Ghana cedis to establish a presence in the 6 regions that they created. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation alone needs 37 million Ghana cedis to establish a presence in the 6 regions that they created. And yet, all 3 agencies are sharing 78 million Ghana cedis. So it is a complete untruth for anybody to say that I have been allocated 78 million Ghana cedis. It is also untrue that when they were in power, the Ministry of Information was given 10 million. The Ministry of Information in 2024, if you look at the Appendix A of the 2024 budget, was given 262 million Ghana cedis. Not 10 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, as I speak to you, when you come to government information management machinery, when they were in power, there was a whole ministry that had a minister, a deputy, and 76 directors and employees to manage government information. Mr. Speaker, in addition to this, when you came to the presidency under the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government, they had a total of 28 people managing the presidency's communications. As I speak to you, there are only 7 of us managing the presidency's communications and the entire government communications. Mr. Speaker, when they were in power, they had, at the presidency alone, they had 4 directors of communications. They had 5 deputy directors of communications. They had 2 communication specialists. They had 3 communication officers. They had 5 technical communications assistants. They had a media aide. They had a multimedia manager. They had an assistant media liaison officer. They had a communications consultant. They had a presidential advisor on media who herself had a technical advisor to the presidential advisor. Mr. Speaker, in addition to this, they had a spokesperson on infrastructure. They had a spokesperson on governance and security. They had a spokesperson on the economy. So 28 people
Kwakye Ofosu,
communications.
let me recognize.
Now,
are you rising?
Yes.
Are you rising under order 122?
Mr. Speaker, shall we put in context that what we are doing here now is debating principles. We are not debating estimates. For the sake of the first timers, we are not debating estimates. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Afriye.
It's only a caution.
Honorable.
And may we set a precedent.
Honorable
that will
Afriye.
conflict us.
Honorable Afriye, are you?
Thank you.
I think you are out of order. Yes, Honorable Habib.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the minister responsible for government communication is misleading the House. Parliament is a house of record. The number of presidential staffers he referred to was tabled before Parliament on the previous administration. The one he's referring to at the moment, on what basis is he? Is there any document before Parliament that he has to refer to into the number of presidential
Honorable
staffers?
Habib.
There is none.
Honorable Habib.
They have more.
Honorable Habib.
And if he doesn't have...
Honorable Leader, he mentioned a figure. What is the correct figure?
Mr. Speaker, Parliament has not received any formal communication from the presidency on the number of presidential staffers. In fact, you are still appointing more presidential staffers. So you cannot conclude to tell us that the number you are giving is the conclusion until there is a formal communication from the presidency informing Parliament on
Honorable
the number of presidential staffers.
what is the correct figure?
So what you are saying? You are misleading us.
What is the correct number? If it's misleading the House, what is the correct number?
Mr. Speaker, I'm referring to something very important, even though you are asking me this question. And I'm saying that at any given time, the presidency provides to Parliament the number of staffers. This government has not. And for that matter, there's no official record on that. And you cannot sit here and mislead us unless he has a copy to show that this is the number of presidential staffers. Or else he must withdraw. He must withdraw that.
Honorable leader, I think the principle is that we start from the known to prove the unknown. So once you do not have the figure, I don't see the basis of your point of order. Honorable Felix Ofosu Kwakye, continue.
Mr. Speaker, the law requires the presidency to submit a list of people working at the office of the president. It is made up of only 6 units, and that will come in due course. I have given you the reason why the compensation budget is what it is in the budget. It is you who went out there to misinform people in order to seek false equivalence. On this floor, you have put out figures that are false. I have put out accurate figures so that it goes on the record. Mr. Speaker, I was making the point that President Mahama is making savings. And one of the ways that he thinks he can do it is by cutting down the numbers. The entire government communication machinery, as we speak, led by myself, is made up of 7 people. In their time, they had 106 people. 78 of them at the Information Ministry and 28 of them at the Presidency. Mr. Speaker, it is right knowledge that if in the past you had 106 people and today you have 7 people, you will make savings. Mr. Speaker, let me also place on record that President Mahama has not appointed 100 staffers. President Mahama has appointed 27 staffers and 3 directors. When they were in power, there were 336 political appointees at the office of the president. Therefore, as we speak, it is a reduction of 306. President Mahama has said that at some point we will recruit supporting staff, but it will come nowhere near the legion of people that they appointed. So when anybody gets up on this floor and attempts to score political points by saying that we have given 51 million Ghana cedis for the National Women's Development Bank and giving 78 million cedis to my office, it is a palpable falsehood. Mr. Speaker, I invite you to my office anytime you are at the Flagstaff House, and you will see that I do not need 70 million Ghana cedis for any capital expenditure. I don't need 8 million for goods and services. Those monies, the monies are for the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the Ghana News Agency, and the Information Service Department, made up of 2,537 civil servants. Mr. Speaker, I must also stress that this is a government that cares about the people of Ghana. For that reason, a total of 44 billion Ghana cedis has been allocated to various programs contained in the 120-day social contract that President Mahama signed with the people of Ghana. 13.85 billion Ghana cedis has been allocated for Big Push. 499.8 million has been allocated for the no academic fee policy. 292.4 million is going to the distribution of free sanitary towels. 242.5 million is going to the victims of the Ofosu Dam disaster. 200 million Ghana cedis will go to victims of the recent tidal wave disaster in the Volta region. 3.5 billion Ghana cedis, which is the single largest allocation, is being given to the free SHS program. 564.6 million Ghana cedis has been allocated to the provision of free curricular-based textbooks.
Hold it.
So, Mr. Speaker, let it be known that Yes.
Honorable,
Okay.
I recognize Honorable Habib.
Mr. Speaker, with respect to you, Mr. Speaker, when the former Minister for Defense was speaking, the front bench, when they had issues under Order 122, you give them the audience and guide them under Order 125. Mr. Speaker, the Minister responsible for government communication, he said that if anybody is on this floor saying or have said that 51 million has been allocated to, no, not to him, for Women's Bank, and then 78 million has been allocated to him, then that is wrong. Mr. Speaker, it is in the budget that the minister presented it here and said 51 million for the Women's Bank and 78 million to your ministry. So don't mislead us. So when you say that nobody should say that, it is wrong. So you cannot mislead us. You cannot mislead us by saying that the minister, no. Mr. Speaker, it is on record that the minister who is here, responsible for finance, said that 51 million have been allocated for the Women's Bank and 78 million have been allocated to your ministry. It's in the budget. It's in the budget. But you see, when the finance minister is justifying that the institution, parliament you belong to, Mr. Finance Minister, you have allocated only 80 million. There's no goods and services for parliament. And yet you have given 78 million to him.
So, Honorable Habib, what then is the point of order? Understanding Order 122.
Mr. Speaker.